Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu. My Italianaire, is that you?
Polosaurus Rex, what's happening?
This is episode 223 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon, patreon.com/MicCheckWaifu, where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast. You can get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, The After Story. The After Story episode 68 just dropped. It's a full episode. One, it's called horror show or some shit like that.
Yeah.
horror show / dating nowadays. So it's about two people who are not dating, talking about dating, what people have to go through. Just kind of gave our little 2 cents, you know, if you're interested in that. It's a really good episode, really good. We do some deep dives on our past and what we think people have to do out there in the dating space, which, spoiler alert, I feel sorry for y'all. You also get access to our exclusive content. Tell got something in the works coming up soon. I don't know if you want to tease that a little bit.
We talking manga
exclusively on Patreon, and I'm also going to do another little one-shot video for Patreon. That's going to talk about or discuss my thoughts on go in depth on what I think about anime in general, and it's extremely how can I put this? How can I put it, Tell? Specific to me, right? There's something that's specific to me that I think that I want to share with y'all in a little more in-depth video, more in-depth than I have on the podcast, but it'll give you a better understanding of my thought process and what I do when I watch some of these animes and how I feel.
You could call it preferential or about preferences, but
yep.
You know.
Exactly. If you also support us, patreon.com/MicCheckWaifu, you get shouted out. Like our very good friend and our archivist, Christian, who also is a new Patreon producer. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for producing this episode, and hopefully many more will to come. Shout out to the rest. Dre the Go G, Rob from Dad Needs to Talk podcast, Johnny from Show Go High, Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture podcast, Explicitly, Monique Williams, Nachi, Semi Sensei, Saphir, and T Money Fingers. Thank you so much for producing this and many other episodes. We appreciate it. No matter how long that list get, we will shout out each and every one of you for producing this and many other episodes. Also, your name is at the bottom of the show notes, in the bottom of the description of this video. What's up, Tel? You got something?
October 29th.
October 29th, that will be our live stream episode. That is, we are doing this once a month. We do a live episode. This one is looking like it's going to be a recap of the start of the fall season. So come hang out with us. October 29th is the recap. Live on YouTube. YouTube.com/@MicCheckWaifu. Subscribe. We appreciate it. Join our Discord too. Shout out to Rob J, TCB, Saphir, Sammy, everybody that be in our Discord. Join our Discord. We have conversations over there about anime and the episodes that we everything we talked about. We got another thick episode for you this week. Fall is in full effect, Teliano.
Oh yeah, it's crazy too.
It's a lot of shit, bro. It's a lot of shit. We're gonna get to that a little bit later again, but as we start every episode, I gotta see how was your week, brother.
It's been a great week. I made a great dinner the other day, and I tried what did I make? So we went to this Brazilian steakhouse last year for Monique's birthday, and we got the Brazilian limeade. Mm-hmm. So it's trending on TikTok and all that stuff. So I said, forget it, I'm gonna make it at home. made it. Hear me out, bro. It's great. It's a great drink. You hearing it here now. I don't know how often you on TikTok, but if you on TikTok and you look at food, that Brazilian limeade is busting. It's and I don't even do milk. I don't do milk, bro. Like regular milk. I normally do like some other type of milk, but it takes the condensed milk. It was still good. Stomach was probably messed up a little bit, but it was good. It was real good. So it's been a good week. Kids great, wife great, family great. How you feeling, Polow?
Real good. Real excited about the content we got going overall. Like seriously, the content we got coming on Patreon has been motivating. Like the support y'all been giving us has been super motivating for us. And like we got so much shit in the works for Patreon exclusive stuff. And maybe we'll release it, but I am also extremely excited about the support, especially from Dad Needs to Talk podcast, who was a great podcaster, just an all around dope dude. And his thoughts on the after story. Let me go read his comment. And Christian as well. They both mentioned the after story podcast, and it's truly happy. Makes me happy to see that people are enjoying that content, because it's honestly it's my favorite content that we make, to be honest. It's truly special. But let me find it. Our Twitter's been kind of popping. Here it is. Dad Needs to Talk, at Dad Needs to Talk. He says, I learned more about Polow in one after story episode than in 222 episodes of Mic Check. And I thought that was hilarious, man. Because
that's the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it. Like one episode, it gets you deep into our lives. It's pretty awesome, especially with this most recent episode, because I think we go deep into like past stuff for me, right? Like past relationships and stuff.
Yeah.
It's quite awesome.
And if y'all go back even further into the archives there, you'll find out even more about Polow.
Oh yeah.
He's a mystery everywhere else, but if you on that Patreon, you might hear some stuff you never heard from Polow before.
And that's a fact. Like nobody else knows anything about my life other than maybe like one or two Twitch streams that no longer exist. That I had where I shared some personal stuff, but everywhere else it's always been business for me on social media. It's crazy.
It's not crazy. It's sane.
And Christian also mentioned our science talk episode. We got a lot of those episodes where we talk about scientific stuff. Those are always fun too. So
I'm telling you, that feels like, oddly enough, even though this is a anime centric podcast, that's kind of our bag too.
100%.
We love that stuff.
Yeah, it's always been. I think it's both. Well, besides art for you, I think it's been our favorite subject in school too. Like even when I was struggling in school, particularly the 8th grade, I always did good in science. Like that was the one class that I've always fucking just excelled at. Everything else was kind of rough, and I digress. Anyway, but I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling good. I've been in a great mood all day today for some reason. Not for some reason. I'm just in a good mood.
Yeah.
Probably because I was ready to talk about anime this week. It's a lot of good stuff, man. What was your episode of the week this week?
It's kind of hard.
It's really hard.
I'm being real with you. I wanted you to go first.
That's really hard for me to do.
I could do it, but I really want you to go first. Mostly because I'm stuck between two. But I'm gonna go with Frieren as my episode of the week.
Frieren, yeah, okay.
Frieren, yeah, I'm gonna go with Frieren as my episode of the week.
Ooh, this is a tough one, man. Because, all right, I'm doing it. I'm fucking doing it. This for you, Rob J. The 100 girlfriends who really, 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 really love you.
Okay.
Now, was it the best episode? Probably not. Was it my favorite? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm until you said you wanted to throw in something else, a curveball.
Yeah. So most interesting episode of the week.
Most interesting episode for me was my sleeper, our dating story.
Yeah.
That was the most interesting episode. I was not expecting what this was to be what it is. I thought it was going to be a little bit more usual. And I will get into what I mean by that a little bit later when we go into depth on these episodes. What about you? Most interesting?
Forbidden Deductions, bro.
And
And hear me out, I didn't think it was gonna be that.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna be that. So yeah, I was definitely very intrigued, mostly obviously by our secondary main character. Because the first main character is like, he seems like a throwaway. But that secondary main character, let's go right in.
Yeah. He's let's get into it. Forbidden Deductions was fun. It was a fun episode to watch. Like you said, the main character though, definitely a generic side character. Like he's the main character, but he's like 11th. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's sixth man on the team. Like
he's J.R. Smith for sure. Because I did not care about anything he had going on.
Not even a little bit, bro.
Not even a little bit.
Life. It don't even matter. I don't care that you're the worst detective on your team or your unit. But our secondary main, our other main character, you could tell immediately that he was that dude.
Yeah. Before we get into that, we are going to spoil episode 1, just episode 1. So like, just listen to these episode 1 spoilers to see if you're interested in watching it or picking it up later or whatever the case may be.
Exactly. But yeah, you could tell from the opening of the episode when he was introduced that he was that dude. We walk into his room, it's completely like cleared out. And you know how the minimalist culture is. I'm like, nah, dude is on to something here. When he breaks down how he knew dude was coming to get him. He said he had you clearly came from a shrine because you were praying because you have the pollen on your shoulder.
Yeah, he was going in his bag about just detailed shit that nobody should have known unless you pay very, 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 very close attention. and that's always fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. But his what we kind of end with on him with them finding the murderer and how he discovered the murderer.
Yeah, wait, should we out? Yeah, let's not spoil who the murderer is, but how he discovered it in general.
How he discovered the murderer, I was a little like, kind of cap, but
I was with you at first. I was with you until it got deeper, right?
Right. Until it get deeper, he explained everything, but I was like, kind of cap. But the ending part for me, like I said, in the ending of that, bro.
Yes.
When we find out his major flaw as a character.
Yeah.
It is basically that his will for people who are harming people or do ill to others is so overwhelming that basically he tells them to kill themselves and they are stuck believing that they have to. So his apprehension rate is 0%, but his actual solve rate is 100%. So he solves every crime he's ever done, ever come across. But literally everyone has always died, never apprehended anybody.
But to be fair, like the other, fuck is this? Ishiki, the terrible, the side character that don't mean shit. He really actually had like a main, like all he had to do was say one thing to kind of like put the pieces into place for Ron, which is an interesting way to think about it too. Like he is throwaway, but is he going to be in the future? Is he going to be there to put that one piece into Ron's head, with Ron being the second main character we've been talking about this entire time, to help solve cases better or faster or whatever the case may be? Because if it wasn't for him saying this one thing, then he would have been like, okay, well, boom.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like I'm gonna use his first name, is Totomaru. It seems that he throws, and this is just me speculating, but it seems like he pays very close attention to small details, or no, not details. He's very by the book. Let me say that he's by the book, which means that he knows what happens in the case, which makes it easier for Ron to just put the pieces together and figure it all out.
Exactly. And that could be why their partnership will be so good outside of his overwhelming need to make sure that no one dies. He's basically Deku in this anime that without powers.
100%. I definitely enjoy the show. It's definitely staying in the list. This list is fucking huge this season. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's like, it's so many. Like, I'm gonna just tell y'all now. Okay, let me start with some of the shows. You're not gonna hear me talk about on the show until they're done or until it's a dub out for them, because I don't feel like going through and reading all the subtitles for 37 shows or whatever the fuck I had on my list. So
okay,
to be fair, Goblin Slayer, not touching it until it's dubbed and done, so we can eliminate that from the discussion on the weekly, unless Saphir tells me it's something crazy happening, or somebody that we know tells me it's something crazy happening, and I'll pick it up. Faraway Paladin, that I watched episode one of season 2 of that. Probably not going to touch that until it's dubbed and done.
Hear me out. It looks better.
It looks better for sure.
Don't necessarily feel better.
Still just as boring as ever. Let's see here. What else was it? Oh, Tokyo Revengers, man. I'm sorry. I could not muster up the strength. Again, this is the start of this is where I ended my read on Tokyo Revengers.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, because I just, every time I look at it or I click it in any list and I try to go to Crunchyroll to scroll down and fucking watch it, or this ain't even Crunchyroll. I gotta go outside of my subscriptions to find it, which makes me not want to watch it. So I don't care anymore. I truly don't care about it anymore. But maybe when it's dubbed and done, I'll throw it on and I'll binge it through. Or maybe what they do, 3 episodes behind or something on the dub, I'll probably just watch dubbed episodes. And then anything else I'm not particularly interested in watching. Unfortunately, your sleeper I have to. My sleeper I have to. I'm not going to watch Shy either.
Okay. Did you watch first episode?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I'm not interested.
I feel you.
All right, Tell, what about you?
It's hard, bro. Because a lot of it I actually do like. I think like even Shy is cool. This Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy, I actually felt like it was kind of a snooze fest.
Interesting.
Let's see.
I'm intrigued in that one. I'm intrigued in that one.
I feel you, because I want it to be, but the I don't know, bro. It wasn't like sitting amazingly well with me. Firefighter Dago, I'm gonna give it one more episode. I'm giving it the 3 episode rule. If I don't get any character development in this one, this was the one I talked about last week, that I like the overall, like what it's talking about. But the character developments are so loose and weak that already, like, I don't know anything about our main characters really, other than the fact that they're firefighters. And part of the beginning scene was part of the ending scene from last week's episode. So it just felt like this week was stagnant. What was the point in this episode? So that'll probably go on a binge when it's done. And then the 100 girlfriend thing, bro. That one might go on the back burner.
That's it. That's crazy. That's crazy.
It might. I gotta see, bro, because this first episode was so.
I was fucking dying, dog. I'm like, yo, what?
The first episode was not like your sleeper's first episode. Your sleeper's first episode was interesting.
No. This one was it's fun. It gives me girlfriend vibes, but on a whole more extreme scale. And I love the fact that the main character got the fucking he got it. He could move, man. He could navigate. I'm tired of that shy bullshit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We always getting with these main characters. I need a main character that can move and navigate. And this guy can move and navigate with these women. Like he's doing it well. And I fucking love that. I love the hilarity behind the whole. Let's go into it. I love the hilarity behind the whole God thing. You know what I'm saying? And this motherfucker was watching a TV show. Okay, let me. Yeah. Let me just go into this shit. Okay, this is about a kid who confessed his love to many of his crushes throughout his whole childhood to middle school. Yeah, childhood to middle school life. Okay. And he failed them all. Like he failed them all. Unfortunately, was rejected every time, but he didn't give up. He didn't stop. He continued until he got into high school. But before he entered high school, he prayed to the God of love, asking him to hey, bless me with finding the one love I want to spend my high school career with. And the guy comes out of the well and hilariously basically tells him like, yeah, you're destined to find your soulmate in high school. But here's the thing.
Oh my God.
You're going to have about 100 of them because I made a mistake. And essentially shenanigans ensue. And he finds out from this guy that unfortunately, if he decides to reject any of his 100 soulmates, that they will have misfortune and end up dying. So he's tasked with trying to navigate the situation in a way that, I mean, you could just think about the situation and see where this is probably going to go. And it's fucking hilarious. I loved where it's going so far because it's funny and it made me laugh out loud.
The best part though was like the resolution though, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And it wasn't even like what he came to, because obviously that's the conclusion, but it was how he came to that conclusion.
That's exactly right, Till.
Him beating his own ass to figure out like, I don't have another choice.
Yeah, I can't hurt these two girls, and like what am I supposed to do?
He don't want to lie to him.
Mm-hmm.
He gotta tell him the truth, and he was thoughtful.
Exactly.
To me,
and smooth
for that. And like I said, for that, I was like, that alone made the episode good. Because like everything else, I'm gonna be real, everything else I did not care about, but that alone, I was like, that was so worth it because it brought everything together. You know what I mean? It showed us exactly why this guy might be fucking worth it, bro. He might be worth it.
This is a main character. I talk about this all the time. This is a main character. Even in these silly rom-coms, a show has to have, like, a character has to have depths. And this guy has some depth. And that's what I love. I love to see that. I love to see characters with more to them than just a one trope, or, you know what I'm saying, or what we like to say, atypical, be usual bullshit. Like, right. I don't want to see that. I don't need to see that anymore. I've got hundreds of shows under my belt with that particular concept, and this one is interesting. I love the fact that he can talk to women. I love the fact that he's not a bumbling fool when it comes to it, and I love the fact that he's smooth. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love it. I'm liking the show so far, and I think it's going to be a surprise hit as far as like that comedic relief that I'm not getting pretty much from anywhere else. I don't think
ever. Right. So. So I do want to talk about a little bit of comedy though, and let me even check to see if it's labeled as comedy, because it might not even be, bro. Where is it at?
What's the show?
Under Ninja.
I'm not. Yeah,
it is labeled as comedy. Hear me out, bro.
Not familiar.
You ain't got to be, but hear me out. It has this like it's kind of a dry humor. It is. But it fits extremely well for what we're looking at. Our main character is just an ninja. It's not good. It's not good. The CGI is garbage. But it had this like really cool scenario where we're following our main character. He's a ninja. He's not particularly a good ninja, but he's a ninja. He's just living his life trying to, take jobs or become good enough to take jobs as a ninja. And we get to this point where he leaves his house and gets spotted by another ninja, and it does the aspect ratio shift to the cinematic aspect ratio, and then it turns into like this action sequence. And I was like, it's kind of dope, but it's literally just there for the comedic relief. This is not going to be one of them anime that you watch because it's like fire. This is another one that is probably gonna get that 3 episode rule, and I'm gonna be like, I'll binge it because it's 100%. Like I think it's funny enough. I just don't think it's gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna look like week to week. Like if it has some substance to it that'll actually keep it in the contendance with like everything else. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Let's move on to something we know real quick. Eminence and Shadow season 2. I'm so happy that this is back. Just being back in this world just feels so good, knowing that the crazy shit that's about to ensue within this season, or I'm assuming, because I don't particularly know, but you have to know that Eminence and Shadow is coming back with a vengeance because of the setup they did. They set up this world in this first episode, like not the world, but the situation of where we're going next so well. It was entirely a setup episode, and for this episode to basically cover exactly what we're going to see, pretty much, and to see him fucking destroy both the side that's hunting vampires and the vampires themselves is going to be extremely entertaining to watch.
Now, you know how last week you said Frieren, however you pronounce it, it has this, it felt like those episodes were like longer.
Yes.
Even though they were definitely shorter.
Yes.
That's how I felt about Eminence and Shadow. I felt like this was a long episode, but I was tuned in the whole time. And it could be that my eyes are going super fast. I'm paying attention to every detail. I'm trying to see what's going on. Yep. I'm just shooting, darting left and right. Just like, oh my God, what's going on? I'm hyped that Eminence and Shadow is back. I feel like at this point, it's going to end up obviously being a Mic Check Waifu staple. But yes, bro, they set the stage for what's to come. And then just to see Sid Kageno repeat we're running out of time. we he said we're out of time. Yeah. We must act now. And then the girl says, then the girl says, huh? He's like, we're running out of time. We must act now. Like, you changed your sentence, bro. Like, I know you practicing it, but it's so like, this anime is so serious, but funny at the same time.
So good.
I love it, man.
And I love it. I hope High Dive is continuing this. I'm hoping that's not just the episode 1, because I know that episode was played early at like one of the anime cons or whatever. Hopefully they continue to the sub and dub, because the fucking dub is amazing, dude. I was shocked about how good it was. This is the first time I heard it.
I thought it said Simo dub, right?
Yeah, but I was hoping it wasn't just for that first episode, because High Dive normally don't do Simo dubs like ever. So I think this will probably be the first one, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like
if they keep this one up, this is the one.
This is the fucking one, because everybody sounded amazing. I knew Sid was gonna sound dope. It's Adam Gibbs. Adam Gibbs is one of my favorite voice actors, and I was actually shocked by it, because normally in shows like this they do side characters so dirty. Like, it's always the main staples, like that sounds decent, like you can deal with, but everybody sounded so good.
You know what I was surprised by that though? Is like, even like the first ghoul dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He sounds solid. We got to the QB Fox girl. She sound decent.
Dope as fuck.
And
yep.
I'm like, and even the angry dude, he sound good. Everybody sound good. So yeah, you're right. When we get this kind of scenario where everyone actually sounds good, it's crazy. It's so, I mean, it's just hype in general.
Yeah, right. Because, I mean, like I said, it's rare. I mean, it's rare that, like, side characters sound as good. Like, even in some of my favorite shows that I love to watch dubbed, like My Team Romantic Comedy Snafu, there are some voices, like, of side characters that just don't work. But this one, so far, nailed. Completely nailed. Loving it, man. I seriously can't wait to talk about this. This is definitely going to go in our weekly spoiler talk at the second half of the shows on a weekly basis, so be prepared for that. But and another one that came back, Spy Family season 2. It was good. You know, it was good.
It was indeed like a palate cleanser.
That's how I felt about 100 Girlfriends.
Right. I don't feel like the humor is landing with me though.
Me either, dude. Me either. It's played, I think.
I want to see what happens. You know what I mean? I want to see what happens so bad.
Yes.
I just,
And, you know, and I think, and this goes back to what the video I'm going to make for exclusively on patreon.com/MikeCheckWaifu is, I think it lost its depth. Like, I don't, like, they started off at the beginning of this show in season 1, fucking going so deep into Lloyd and so deep into your, like, these are these people. This is what they have to deal with, and now we're moving along the plot. About 4 episodes in, they get Anya, and as soon as they get Anya, it just devolves into shenanigans. And while the shenanigans are cute and funny at first and fun, 20-something episodes, 26 episodes now in this case with season 2, I'm kind of done with the shenanigans. I want progress.
And oddly enough, one of the best points outside of the character the characters in the shows, when they actually, when they go inside the depth of the characters, like what's the character's background, was when they like go into the organization's backgrounds, like what the organizations are, their intentions are, and all that stuff. But we didn't even get a ton of that in that second core of season 1.
Right.
I would like more of that alone, because that would just drive it forward, bro.
Yes, man.
Give us more depth into the organizations, even like why these organizations are necessarily opposing each other, how we know for sure these organizations are bad, even those kinds of things. Just give us more depth into that to give our characters a purpose in doing what they're doing.
100%.
Because Aya seems purposeless, even though she's a mind reader, and that's crazy.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Like I think, and you know what I think it needs? And again, we're not manga readers, so we don't know. Shout out to, it looks beautiful still. Clover and Wit, they're obviously going to kill it each time, but I think it needs for Anya to be discovered. I think it needs for Yor and Lloyd to know the truth about each other. I think it just needs a Mr. and Mrs. Smith type of situation to where they're all working together and doing actual spy, assassin, mind reader shit, But then it would turn too serious, and then who's the audience? You could still I don't think it needs to be serious. It could still be fucking hilarious with these three working as a team together, and accidental scenarios and shit. Just it'll be, I think it still could be hilarious, but you're right, it probably won't be as funny because it's kind of pushing the story forward. Right. And if you push the story forward, which is like in the background, the story is very serious. Like these two sides are trying to prevent one seems to be trying to commit like war crimes and do war shit, and the other is trying to prevent it entirely. It could,
on a global scale.
On a global scale, exactly. It could ruin the fun of it, quote unquote. But like, I'm ready for that. Like, I'm ready for some serious shit. Maybe I just want a different show, and maybe that's
true. We need to wait for the Core family.
That's definitely not going to be serious, but it's definitely going to be dope.
It'll be more serious in a sense. You know how.
That's true. That's true. I'm so glad we stopped reading. I'm so glad we stopped reading.
I swear.
Because for those of you who are unfamiliar, we used to do something called Mic Check Manga, which is coming back in a form of Patreon exclusive tailway. But we used to do Mic Check Manga. If you go all the way back in our podcast feed, you should see them like 10 to 20-minute episodes of us reviewing chapters of Mission Yozakura Family. That was like one of the first things, because it was a brand new manga. We said, let's hop on this, let's do it. And we did it for a little while, and then we stopped because, other obligations, but it was fun. Check it out. Mission Yozakura Family is a Mic Check staple. I want to go to one that I love.
What's
a show that I love. And I love this probably because it's fucking pulling at every nostalgia string in my body. Okay. And that's MF Ghost. I know we're supposed to be talking about the new shit, but episode 2 of MF Ghost was fantastic because they threw out names that literally gave me chills. Like the hair on my arms was standing up when they threw out these names. This is going to be spoilers for episode 2, but I want to make this clear because I said this on Twitter. It's very important stuff. For episode 2, we finally figured out that, which we kind of knew, right? Like it kind of was being presented that way and being very predictable when we kind of talked about that 222 last episode we recorded. But our guy, Kanata Rivington, is obviously trying to find his father. His father is a racer, or probably was a racer. And he feels like the best way he can find him is by doing really good in this MF Ghost League. Mm-hmm. Come to find out that our guy, Kanata Rivington, was trained by Takumi. And for those of you that don't know who Takumi is the main character of Initial D, the entire series. So, meaning, like, what do they call it?
Means something.
Yeah, so that not only is that A6 means something, but the way he was driving, one of the creators of this was like, yo, he's driving like that Black Panda, which is the old car that
G6
Takumi used to drive. Fucking incredible. The Torino, and it was incredible to watch him because he was driving. They say he was driving just like him, but we also found out that Ryonosuke is the fucking creator of the rules of this fucking thing, and Ryonosuke was basically Takumi's arch rival throughout the entire final stage, but in the entire initial D series. Like he was a big deal. It looked like straight up demon. It looked like it was Ryunosuke, but for some reason, I was wondering, like, no, maybe it's somebody else using his name, until they show him being a doctor, and obviously his hair color is obviously the exact same as Ryunosuke's. But it's like, yo, this is fucking. I'm like, I was getting chills watching it because he's like I said last episode, he incorporated that drift, like going down them crazy turns and drifting all nuts. It still looks like Initial D, so it still got that ugly ass 3D, but I love it, man. I'm loving it. And this is just pure personal nostalgia reason, because Initial D was one of the ones I picked up in 2008 when I was funny enough in Texas, in Killeen, Texas. My father gave me the stack of DVDs of just a bunch of different anime. Initial D was one of them, and I fucking breezed through that entire series like it was candy, bro. It was so good, and I loved Initial D ever since. And I'm not even a sports anime guy at all, but I love that series. Sorry, thanks for letting me geek out over that, Till.
Do your thing, brother. Did you get around to watching a certain guy's vrmmo, a playthrough of a certain dude's vrmmo life?
No.
Hear me out. I think this is going to be good, bro.
You think it's going to be good? Okay.
I do. And I only say it's going to be good because the main character is super competent, but not overconfident. His whole point in going to vrmmo was so he could play by himself and not get involved with anybody. So he chose skills that no one would like. He chose kick, wind magic, which is weak to multiple different types of elements. He basically chose archery because no one supports archery anymore. He chose medicine making and just a bunch of skills that no one's going to use, because like, why make medicine when you got NPCs that can do it? But hear me out. He chose all these things to kind of support himself. But when it came down to getting a bow, he was the only one that could make his own bow other than a beginner bow. Eventually in the first episode, what was kind of crazy was that he was making his own potions and crafting his own stuff. But the NPCs decided that they ran out of potions. They no longer can make potions.
Oh shit, he's the only one that can do it now.
The world is like, we need potions. So he's crafting potions for them. Then he goes into a cooking montage for everybody because he's trying to get his cooking skill up. So it turns out that he actually ends up being this super useful character, even though he literally tried to not be useful.
Interesting stuff. Okay, I'll add it to the list.
And he ends up utilizing these off the wall skills, like I said, archery, kick, and wind magic to fight up close. And he actually is kind of OP, bro. It's like we got a mix of campfire cooking with like this super decent, like, and I'm gonna say, I think this main character is better than decent, bro. I think he's actually a good MC. So I think it's gonna be good. And like, I could be wrong.
I trust you on that. Yeah, because
this start was solid. If anything I said sounds good, I think it's worth watching.
Everything you said is interesting to me way more than the next one I'm gonna talk about. And this is another episode 2. So I'm sorry, this is not new, but that Shangri-La, dog, like, wow, it's it's so pretty. It's a fucking gorgeous show. It sounds absolutely beautiful when it comes to like just listening to the sound effects and shit. But it's dry, bro. This fucking main character stinks. He's so boring. That like, this is really just if you want to turn your brain off and watch some meathead shit. This is just a meathead ass isekai, basically. So I'm going to continue to watch it, obviously, but it's so boring to me that like I'm ready for anything else. It's like, but the good news is it's like watching a PS5 game. So if you save this for like last in your watch list, you at least the last thing you would see would be something gorgeous, because this fucking show looks great.
It is crazy. Even the CGI actually looks good in this one.
Really good.
But I agree with you that like there's really no reason to have your brain on it.
No, at all. It's just like, let him do his thing, and
easily digestible. You comprehend what's happening immediately.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because if you even think about it in a gaming aspect, it makes sense. but
Sure.
it's like, it's just a show. You know what I mean? It's not particularly special.
Right. I'm gonna keep it real with you though. The end kind of brought some what looks like it's gonna finally go somewhere as far as like something to do or something to chase after when it comes to these uniques. So that's pseudo interesting, you know. I'm gonna keep watching it. Maybe my mind is gonna change on this. That's only episode 2. But one that I'm gonna seriously talk about, and which fucking blew me back actually, was the Kingdom of Ruin.
Okay.
The Kingdom of Ruin actually, I probably should have made this the most interesting because it blew me back. It truly did, because the Kingdom of Ruin, almost did what Akame got killed, but in a way more interesting way, right? Like, it started off with a deep, detailed story of 2 traveling companions, if you will. One of them being the witch in a society where witches are frowned upon now, or not even just frowned upon, but literally hunted, because the society is terrified of them. So they decided that technology is going to be more important because everybody can use it. Not everybody can be witches. So in order to, this society is scared of stuff that they don't understand. So if you can't understand the powers of a witch, you want to get rid of it, essentially. And it's about this kid who was a student of a witch, and it's a major fucking thing. I'm gonna just fucking spoil it. In the first episode, the witch gets captured as they're on their traveling, and she gets blown the fuck back, like
how Aaron mom got ate.
Yeah, like even worse than that, honestly, because not only that, because hers was instant, right? Like Aaron mom just got ate. She got humiliated, mutilated in front of everybody, and gunned the fuck down. Like,
in front of the person she loves.
In front of the person. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, bro, I cannot wait to see him get his fucking revenge, because in the end of this episode, he comes across this girl who accidentally frees him from this capture of the town that he was in with this witch. And you can already tell he about to pop off, because I know I would. And I'm ready for it. I'm ready to see fucking humans get decimated, because they were all laughing at her when she was being humiliated and excited and recording, and just, it's going to be awesome to see them get their payback. So Kingdom of Ruin, very, very, very surprising, because I was not expecting this to even be good. I thought it was just going to be like a throwaway something that I turn on. No, it's just more interesting than probably most of the new stuff I watched, for sure.
Yeah. Now, to add on top of that, right? One that actually surprised me, and I don't know if you got around to it, a Returner's Magic Should Be Special.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised by this first episode.
I will say this, very boring start.
Yes, the first few minutes was definitely like when we walk into this fight with this giant dragon.
Yeah. And
it's like, what mattered more to me wasn't so much the fight, it was the details about the fight.
It was everything that, well, for me personally, it was everything that happened after the fight that was more interesting.
Yeah. Well, I like the 1.6 million people fought this dragon.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're talking about it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All for 6 people to be left to survive. And we find out, ideas, right? So the way they prefaced even that after killing the dragon, there was a whole nother thing that no one ever experienced before. Because it's the first time they've ever killed a dragon, and that was the magic heart or whatever. And that was dope. And then we go into our main character gets killed, basically. He's a returner, meaning that he died and he comes back to life. But he remembers what happened in the past. What made that so cool is that what's going to happen going forward, and how he processes his world, and, just kind of monologues it to us. So it's not, and it's one of those things where it's like, we're not finding out things as we go, but we are. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because he's not new to this world, but the information he has just gives us context as it goes. So I thought that was really cool. And I'm kind of super interested to see how things might change in his perspective. So I was actually very surprised by this episode. It gave me some interest. So I'm excited to keep watching this one too.
For sure. It's based off of a manhwa, and word on the street is that the manhwa, the dragon fight was much more intense in the manhwa. And it's probably because the dragon looks fucking awful in 3D. Like that 3D was, it was like ass. It was so bad. But everything else, like you said, I did love the setup of it. The fact that it was 1.6 million people that died to this thing. A lot of his loved ones and friends and stuff like that was interesting to see. I'm interested to see what he does with him bringing back his knowledge from these fights. Like he's going to have all his spells that he's learned in like through the 3 years of fighting that dragon that he could take to the path. Like it's going to be fucking dope to watch, especially with the little combative chattiness from the guy that he had an encounter with. It's very interesting. Now let's go into my sleeper.
Okay.
Our story, the inexperienced me and the experienced you. This is very, very shocking. Now I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't know because what I don't. Okay. How do I want to tackle this? The show has a main character which we all seen before, right? The typical nerdy guy, right? Who still seems to have a little bit more to him than what we've seen so far, but he's not that detailed. He comes across a situation to where he's basically forced or he's dared to relay his feelings for his crush. He does this, his crush instantly says yes because she's single at the moment. And which means that he becomes the girlfriend of one of them of what they call it in Japan, gal girls. The girls who are full of who are so popular, who nails, hair, different clothes, different,
like an idol.
Yeah, different uniforms. Oh, no, she's definitely not an idol. She's definitely
in that. She's not an idol, but she's like that kind of level of like.
Those are very different. Those are very, very different because idols are loved. Gals are normally not even liked, to be honest. They're lusted. There you go. Yeah, they're lust. That's the word. That's a good word. Lusted after. And it's very evident that they're in two different leagues. And I mean, from moment one, she says, okay, look, we're dating. Let's walk home together. They walk home together. He decides to walk her all the way home. She asks him to come in. And when he comes in,
hold on, bro.
What?
That's cap. He ain't decided to walk her all the way home. She told him.
Yeah.
She told him.
What, you're not going to walk me home? Yeah, that's true. It's like, you're not going to walk me home? Like, all right, fine. She walks her home. She invites him in. Nobody's home. And fucking it instantly goes to, she's taking off her clothes. Basically saying, well, we're not going to have sex now? He's like, well, wait, what? Like, you just learned my name. For one, you just learned my name as we were walking home because you didn't really pay too much attention to me and we've been in the same class this whole time. But no, like, we're not going to have sex. And that's basically how it ends. What bugs me about it is the fact that she's experienced, i.e. the title, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of deters me a little bit from caring about her, even though I think it's a plot line for us to supposed to care about her because of the simple fact is that her perspective on relationships is entirely fucking just screwed. It's like fucked. And
that's what makes me actually interested in the show, right?
Yeah.
Because to me, I know those mental, like the what she did, her mental gymnastics to get to where she was. Not to say it's mental gymnastics, but
yeah,
it's a little wild. But to where she got to that point would have to be trauma. Yeah. And how what happened in her life as a younger person.
It's about to be messy.
So I think it's gonna be messy, and I think it's gonna be a lot of figuring out. But I'm gonna tell you what I do like about the main character because he's like that shy nerdy guy, But he said what he felt, bro.
Exactly.
It took him a second to get there, but he said it. And that's what I was like, I love that because he's not holding it back necessarily. He just had to take a second to get there.
Yeah.
So I like that. And I think that he'll probably become more confident as it goes on because that's what it feels like. This is a show about an experience that grows. So hopefully I think this show is actually going to be heat, bro. I think it's going to be a banger.
Yeah,
I think this is a great sleeper.
I'm hoping it's going to be heat. I'm struggling with the characterization of the girl. Like, and it's just, she seemed like such a sweetheart too. And maybe it's just because I have
experience with that.
Yeah, it's just, I don't like, the whole being taken advantage of type of situation. So it's like, it kind of throws me off a bit, but it's definitely, and what I said in our Discord is it definitely has potential because it's so different than what I'm used to. I'm so used, speaking of, quick sidebar, Angel Next Door season 2 got announced.
Hey.
Shout out to everybody on Twitter that hit us up about that. So fucking excited about that. But it's definitely not Angel Next Door level. It's something completely new and fresh. And it's written by a woman. So I'm really, really intrigued to see where this romance goes, because normally stuff like this would be done by a man who's, not as gifted in the ways of a female. So, and those end up being like Rent a Girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? But I digress, I'm definitely intrigued. I don't know if this is going to be one of my best sleepers. I think it's going to be probably good.
No, I think this is going to be a hit, bro.
But not one of my best. Speaking of sleepers.
Protocol Rain. Now, I'm going to tell you, I knew as soon as I watched this episode, I was like, Polow ain't going to like this. I like it, though.
I think you're trying to force yourself to like it. I
could be, but I'm going to tell you genuinely, I thought it was like just decently interesting. Like, I'm not going to say it's like, I'm not even going to say it's like a 7 out of 10, but like a 67, a 65 out of 10, or 6.5 or 6.7 out of 10, I think it's pretty there. The 57. Thing I hated though, you said what?
It's a 57 on any list.
Yeah, that's cool. But
they're never right anyway, so.
That game editing was garbage, right? They could have did better on that.
And that's, to be fair, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's not even the worst part, right? Like, I mean, it's particularly harping on CS:GO and Valorant. Like, this is literally, that's what it's particularly trying to be as far as this esport world goes. It's everything else around it fucking, like, I know it's a deeper story in which the main character suffers some kind of trauma with his little sister. Yeah, we saw the accident. Yeah, that's cool. But like, being thrusted into this fucking esport just feels so poorly thrusted into our faces. Yeah, like it's just like it could have been a much smoother way of easing us into this esport that would have made this more interesting. Like, I don't care about the game looking terrible, but I can tell you what, it's going to be so average and so boring and so predictable that it's not going to be a good show. I think 100% what brings the show down is the if it could have been so much more about and this is only the first episode, so we don't really know. We don't know shit yet.
It could have really leaned into more of his story in this first episode to tie us in, instead of assuming that we just specifically care about the gaming. Right. Game is cool, like, it's fine, but but that's a very Doom looking game. So they could have done better on that, but like, the story is where they need to do the hook, line, and sinker. And hopefully they can bring that more into play in so 2 and 3. Right. And again, but I enjoyed it. It wasn't like nothing that made me jump over the moon or anything like that. Yeah. But I wasn't like, I gotta turn this off immediately.
It was hard for me to watch. Because I'm like, they kept trying to show us, oh, look at this trauma, but look at the game. Look at this trauma, but look at the game. Like, just either show us the game or show us the trauma. Like, this whole jumping back and it's about to be so fucking predictable. It's about to be he's about to make this fucking team. I'm gonna gut check this for you. He gonna make this team, and they're gonna go fucking hard, and they're gonna go against some guy who's fucking amazing, like Jonathan. And
Explosion Coon.
No, Explosion Coon is gonna join the team. She's joining the team to help win, and it's about to be.
They're gonna save the gaming shop from going under with the money.
Yes, and it's gonna be down to him. He's gonna be the last person alive after everybody's showing off and showing out. They're going off. It's the last round, last shot. He makes it, but everybody's gonna be. It's fucking atypical, be usual bullshit. But I'm really curious about the story. Like, I really want to know what happened. Like the depths of his sister, and I do want to see him succeed. It's a show I have to watch because it's a sleeper. But it was hard to watch only because of the structure of it, the plot. The structure of the plot fucked it up for me. I don't care about the game looking terrible. Like, the game, CSGO looks, well, it did look awful before CS2 came out, but I digress. It's a shooter, and the mouse movement wasn't accurate at all. It would look bad. It was just bad. But again,
that's what I meant, though.
That's not the point, and I know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the point is to just have this team come together to save the shop and to help his sister with the medical bills and him going to school. Like, it's very, 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 very predictable. But I am going to continue to watch it because I'm very interested to see where it goes, and I hope it gets better.
Do you want to talk about something that's heavily talked about on the timeline?
Let's do it.
Undead Unluck.
Oh yeah, fuck! I forgot I watched it.
Oh man, is that bad? Is that bad? On the first episode, you forgot you watched it. The most talked about shit on the timeline.
Oh yeah, it's fucking just. I was not impressed.
So let me hear me out though. Hear me out, because I knew you was gonna say something about Undead Unluck, right? I knew I was like, Polow gonna tweet something about Undead Unluck for sure, right? Whether it be a compliment or something that's just side eye. I knew when you said it might have the best outro song of anything you heard this season, I was like, he ain't like that episode. He ain't like that episode at all.
No. And to be fair, thanks, shout out to Undead Unluck. This is the reason why I wanted to make the video, because I saw everybody going off about it. But I'm like, listen, I can't. There's just the lack of depth here is fucking
insane.
It's insane. Like, it's so rough, and I don't know if I could deal with these characters for 13 episodes. But people keep saying, hey, listen, and this is mostly everybody on the timeline. Listen,
it gets better.
Episode 1 is rough. Episode 2 might be rough. Episode 3 might be rough. But it gets better. Everybody's saying stick it through. Because in the manga, it was this bad too. And I'm like, okay, so I'm not off or wrong by feeling bad about what I'm watching. Because everybody's saying the same thing, but just stick it through. It looked David's doing their fucking thing. Like, this is probably why we haven't gotten Fire Force yet. Because David is amazing. But I do not give a fuck about nobody in this show. I didn't smile or laugh at the one bit. I think Undead is the corniest fucking character I've ever seen. It's everything about it is just mad fucking. I'm sorry. Tuning. Yes, man. Yes, it's very acne. WB fucking. I'm over old school cartoons, and that's what it feels like.
What do you think about the Unluck girl?
She's cute. I mean,
you don't think her story tragic? You think she should just wear gloves all the time and have somebody she loves?
I don't know enough to care yet. I know it sucks. Like, you can't touch nobody, but I seen that in My Hero too. Name is Shigaraki. You know, like it's tell me it's not the same. How?
Shigaraki can turn that shit off. He ain't gotta kill you if you don't want to.
Can he though? I don't know if he can. Maybe he can. You know more than I do, but everything I seen he touch, it crumbled. That's
because at this point he a full out demon. he had touched people before without killing them. Now he can't hold back because he's trying to take everybody.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I mean she's probably the the most redeeming thing about it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I got a feeling this undead guy is gonna piss me off. He feels like Asta. Kinda, to be fair.
I would say he better than Asta because he got it. He got a backstory to him already.
Yeah, but stop yelling at me, bro. Like you don't. That's all I'm saying.
That is accurate. That's accurate.
I don't want you fucking screaming in my ear.
I ain't had to hear it in the manga.
I don't have to hear it, bro. Like it's just, you know what's crazy, man, is these shows that I just did not think I was gonna like. I'm loving, and the shows that I'm thinking I'm gonna love, like Undead Unluck, I'm not really that hype on. Yeah, exactly. Like not Shangri-La, because I already know that's Ragna.
Yeah,
it's fucking dope, bro. I'm liking that.
Oh yeah,
and I did not think I would. This again there's a pattern here. There's characters with depth, man. I love this shit. Like when it has deeper characters or deep enough characters, I'm way more interested and I'm invested in the story, in the world, and everything else.
So
than just meathead bullshit.
It was the introduction of Crimson, huh?
No.
What was it?
It was his methodology with Leo.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, listen, get away from me. Because if you continue to be near me, shit gonna get worse for you. Because I'm about to go off. Exactly. And I can't go off with you here because I'm too worried about protecting you. And then when Crimson comes in, I'm like, wait, oh shit. It goes deeper than that. Because now it's like, wait, is Crimson like maybe just trying to secretly take over and be the only, you know? Or is he going to really abide by, I'm gonna let you kill me? It's like it's so much depth to this.
Even finding out that ambition in the first place, because why I can understand more or less why you'd want to destroy all of the dragons so you could be the only. But then it's like, why would you want to kill yourself if that really is the ambition? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is it in terms of like what you think of the dragons? Like, is that like some end all be all? Like, if you kill all the dragons, the world ends? Like, are you that kind of demon or what's going on? So because
there's more to Crimson than we know so far.
Right. And that's the beauty of it, because the having to convince Crimson,
mm-hmm.
and then even the details they gave to Crimson. It's like, and then we see, and it was funny because at first Crimson didn't even give like the viewer the idea that they knew what was going on. And then it was like Crimson's giving the viewer the idea that, okay, so this person knows who I am, all the way into the full of like Crimson is like, hey, I'll make a deal with you.
Bro, this is all shit. These episode 2s we've been talking about should have been spoiler talk. Like, we fuck it up. Cause I mean, fuck it, whatever. Maybe we just don't do a break this week.
Yeah.
Because we ain't got nothing really to spoil. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, and again, this is a show that I did not think I was going to enjoy because I thought it was going to be some turn off my brain meathead shit.
Right.
But even show that you said you didn't like, the Demon Sword Master of Excalibur Academy, I'm fucking intrigued about this guy coming back 1,000 years or whatever it is. Like, it's almost where is it? I know it's in my list somewhere.
The World's Strongest Exorcist?
No, Demon King.
Oh,
Anos Voldigo. It has that influence, right? But it seems like I'm more intrigued into how different the world is compared to the world he came from, and how different the world is compared to the world he came from, and how his magic, you know, is infused in this world, and what it can do compared to what these girls have, or what the other quote unquote magic users use, and with the technology and shit. Like, I'm more interested in that than I was. And again, I was not expecting to be. Like, I was not expecting to be invested in shit like that. I was expecting to love Undead Unluck. Shangri-La, after the first episode, I'm like, okay, maybe it goes deeper than that. It doesn't.
Do you think he's gonna be more than a monotone character?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Because you can already see it. You can already see him like, why am I why am I lusting after this girl? It's never happened before. This fucking human body got me lusting after, it's shit like that. It's shit like that he's never experienced before that's gonna make him more interesting. It's a very, very different season for me.
I mean, that's not bad though, because it's better to have some of these surprises, locked and loaded like this.
Straight up.
And I mean, yeah, bro. Some of these are legitimately that they're surprises that are better than I would have even expected.
So another one that listen, a director makes a world of difference, because The Rising of a Shield Hero looks and already feels pacing wise so much better in season 3. So for those of you that's been holding off for Rising of the Shield Hero until you figured out what the fuck is going on, it's so far so good. So far so good, because it's you know what? Maybe we could take that. Let's take Rising of the Shield Hero to spoiler talk, and then I'll do a One Piece update in the second half as well. I want to do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, let's do a recommendation roulette, even though, no, I don't think we should do a recommendation. We're not going to do a recommendation roulette because there's too much on the list already. So let's just take a quick break. And when we come back, two things I want to spoil. Rising of the Shield Hero season 3 for now, and Beserker Gluttony. This won't be a week-to-week thing, but those are going to be the two shows that I want to spoil this week. But I gotta play this break song. It's Burn Water, and it's called Being Honest. Y'all know I love Burn Water. Being Honest is an incredible song. So enjoy this song. We'll be right back with those two, and then probably my One Piece update. One Piece update is gonna be quick. We'll be right back after these. And welcome back to episode 223 of Mic Check Waifu. Follow us on X at Mic Check Waifu, on Instagram at check blah 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 blah. All right. Yeah, just like that. All right. So let's go into to spoiling Rising of the Shield Hero season 3, which is obviously a season 3, so it's a bit more spoilery. So we'll add it to the spoilers this week just so we can have something to talk about. And like I said, I really wanted to play that song because that song is dope. The director makes a world of difference, bro. It looks so good and it feels so much more paced, and it looks like we're going somewhere deeper, right?
Yeah. So
because now Nafumi is focused on buying up all the slaves, and it's not for like personal reasons, like personal. Hey, I want to free you. It's for, hey, I'm gonna need some help defending my land that I have here, which is dope. And find out that the underground is lying about the slaves, even putting the name of his land on the slaves, as if that would essentially go out to hurt his name. So there's like some new levels introduced into this, especially with finding out more about the underground and everything. Right. The underground betting arena, that kind of stuff. And then even what's to come. Exactly. Because what's to come is that the fact that they're, what they call them, after the spirit tortoise, there's other like the guardians. Phoenix. Yeah. The Phoenix is coming next to, as a summon, but means that in between that, they have a longer break before the next wave hits, which is interesting. But again, another thing that was actually good in season 2, I wouldn't say good because it was still terrible, but the information we got was good. And that's the information about the other weapons. What they call them?
Like the staff hero and the other heroes we saw in general.
Weapon heroes. Those are being like very important key to like where the story goes next, because the other heroes are missing again, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. And 2 of his own heroes. Yeah,
so it's like, y'all just fought this tortoise. Now you're talking about the Phoenix is next. That might be way harder than the tortoise. You know what I'm saying? Because of what the Phoenix represents, unless it's different in this particular lore, but I doubt that. But it has me more interested this time than it did in season 2. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. And I'm surprised you said it looked better.
Yeah, world's better. What do you mean?
I don't know. I didn't feel like it actually looked that much better.
That's insane.
But I feel you.
We can put some side to side, yeah. Because if you,
I didn't. It's not like I went back and looked at season 2 again. I don't even. I can understand. I'm thinking about the tortoise and how crappy that looked, but I can't remember the actual characters, like if they looked any different. But the beauty of it is the actual movement of like Naofumi currently. Him figuring out where he's going to go next, and like even his negotiations and with the slave trader leading him to the underground. Mm-hmm. How far you think this is going to go? Like,
I don't, with this particular quote unquote arc or mini arc or whatever you want to call it, with him buying up the slaves, I don't think it's going to go that far. But what I am interested to see if they discover who he is, which it seems like the girl he met at the bar kind of already knows. So what happens when this particular underground knows who he is? Like, does it change what they're trying to do in a tournament? More people try to cheat, et cetera, to win, or to get more confident. Like, there's just so many different avenues that they could take as far as where it goes for this.
And they showed us like 2 kind of like underground bosses.
Mm-hmm. It will probably be a big deal. So I'm interested. I'm very much happy that it's, again, the direction was way better. The camera work was way better than it was in season 2. And then the pacing of this is so much more like fluid because we're skipping the bullshit. Like they still have traveling situations, but it's not as minor as it was. It seems like season 2 was a pad. A lot of it was padding into the tortoise fight. And then the tortoise fight is where they dropped everything or tried to drop everything, but it was still ass. This seems like, okay, we don't need to do full travel scenes. Let's montage this real quick. Let's, montage from here to here to here, and then go into, the slave den that he originally bought. Right. What's her name? Reptalia from, or next city. Let's montage that travel and then figure out about the whole slave den thing and what they're doing to like use his name and et cetera, et cetera. Like the pacing of it is just so much better. And that's what I'm looking forward to the most, because it seems like we're actually going to get way more progress, way faster, and it makes much more sense. And we also only have 12 episodes. So
short and sweet. That's something to keep in mind. So, dope. I'm looking forward to more. And then, what was the other one I said I was? Beserker Gluttony.
I probably should have said this in the first half, but this, the TCB wasn't feeling this. But this is seriously, again, all about the depth of the main character. I'm fucking loving it, man. I'm loving the fact that I still don't know much about him, but I know way more about him than I do some of the other characters, like fucking Undead or Shangri-La, or like, I just know so much more. Like, I swear if Shangri-La trade main characters with Berserk, it'll be so much better. Because I would love to see Berserk with that animation, because this animation in this one's kind of poop. Yeah,
but what do you think about, like, overall more uncovering about his ability?
Yeah, Gluttony fucking sucks.
It does suck, right?
But it's also awesome at the same time.
But does it reset with what he just did, like giving his stats to the sword? That would be dope if it reset the like peak of it.
You know what I was thinking? It'd be dope, and this is just a Polow wish, but I digress. What you said makes a lot of sense, because I didn't think about it that way. But him getting that health regeneration, if he gets hungry, does it regen his health because he's dying technically? You know what I'm saying? Like that was my thought process with getting that health regeneration perk. I'm like, wait, is this about to be a loop of him gaining health regeneration like it was in solo leveling? I'm not gonna say anything else about that, but something like that, you know what I'm saying, where he
that'd be crazy,
continues to regen health even if he's hungry. That could negate his entire issue, right? Because I think they made it a point to mention the fact that, listen, if you don't obtain souls, you're gonna die. But now you just beat up a hobgoblin boss and got health regeneration. So maybe I'm thinking too deep, which could be entirely the case, because I tend to do that. I tend to give more depth than is necessary.
It could be as simple as, like, you don't eat for this expanded amount of time, you just die on the spot. We don't know if it means like you don't eat, now you just start taking health damage. If you start taking health damage, I understand health regen. I don't know, bro.
Again, they made it a point to show that he was fainting. He felt weaker. And he felt like he was getting. So that's where my head was at. But what you just said rings a lot of bells for me too, since he reset all his stats, which means he's not going to be as hungry because he technically don't have as many souls, right? So that's why greed and gluttony might be the perfect combination, you know? Yeah.
And he technically can kind of keep his stats if they all get transmitted to the sword.
Yeah, man. Yeah. When I think about the fact that his weapon changed to a bow, though,
that don't miss.
Yeah, like, I'm like, now it's getting into some territory I was not expecting again. Because what other weapons can a sword turn into? You know,
a great sword, a spear.
Oh shit, yeah, shield, even
some knuckles, yeah.
And is it at will? Does it change when he says? I don't know. I hate the show's cliffhangers, though. I tell you that much. I don't like them.
Yeah.
They feel hurtful.
They stopped at the information we needed.
Yes, which is always tacky. Very. Yes. Okay.
One Piece.
My last thing. One Piece update. I just finished Dressrosa. I think I told Tell this when we were finished with the outer story, but I finished Dressrosa. the end of the arcs. Did I say this? I don't think I said this.
You said it's a little bit on Twitter.
On Twitter, okay, yeah. The end of the arcs of One Piece are so much better than the arcs themselves. What I mean by that? What I mean by that is the world ramifications, the changes that happen, the shifts that happen within the power, like not power system as hockey shit. I'm talking about the world government and warlords, et cetera, et cetera. Those type of power shifts that happen within the show is just so much better than most of the show itself. Because, like, again, and this is going to make a lot of people mad. The fights in One Piece are absolute garbage. There's nothing but a bunch of Luffy getting knocked around or whoever's fighting getting knocked around until they get that one opportunity for that one punch, right? It's very much a show about padding for episode count because it will get the viewers no matter what. So they're going to continue to milk that in its entirety. What I'm sad about now is that I don't have the truncated version anymore. I only have episode with a filler list now. So I have to watch all the bullshit. Mm-hmm. However, I'm on Zoe Island now. And Zoe Island, though the ramifications and the importance of it might not be big, I find it to be much more interesting than Dressrosa already. Like, yeah. Zoe Island is the fact that somebody from what's the big dude? Kano? Is his big dude name? The fact that one of his people is on his island terrorizing these poor animal, these minxes, is much more intriguing. And the whole Minx Island being on the back of an elephant and the way that, like, everything around that story is just so much more interesting than anything Dressrosa. Dressrosa was more important. Yes, I get it. You know, warlords and fucking admirals and et cetera, et cetera. But something about this little Zoe Island, I'm like much more invested in what's going on. Like Sanji being taken by Big Mom too. That's fucking crazy. Like I can't wait to see where that's going. That's pretty much where I stopped. Like I don't know what happened to Sanji yet, but I know Big Mama has him.
You're gonna love this arc, especially. I mean, if you like Sanji, you're gonna love this arc.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What did you think about Doflamingo in the end?
He's a cornball, but what I did like though, and this has happened after I was talking to you that day after the after story, was him inside of the ship's jail. Okay. Mm-hmm. He was mentioning like, hey, just make sure I get a newspaper because I cannot wait to see the change that's going to happen to this world because I'm not there to put the other basically smaller or weaker pirates in their place or control what happens when it comes to that particular portion. That had me more interested in him because now I know that he had a bigger role within this world that was more than just the slave thing. While the slave thing, they kind of hinted at it being almost like a necessary evil, which was kind of cool, but also, you know,
yeah, it's always fucked up.
Yeah, it's always going to be fucked up. But like Celestial Dragon, I'm interested to see what's going to happen with all of that. However, Ishio or Fugurashi, whatever his name is, the fucking demon, the blonde demon.
I told you.
He is the fucking GOAT. He is absolutely one of the greatest admirals I've seen. And I love his character. Like, not only his character as in the show character, but his character, you know? Like, he's a good dude. And I love the fact that he exposed the Navy for this bullshit. And I love the way he did it. Like, all that shit was so brilliant that's why I like One Piece. I don't like One Piece for the fights. The fights are ass. I don't like One Piece for really the arcs itself. I love One Piece for the world and the ramifications of the outcome of those terrible arcs.
Yeah, but Fushigori, whatever his name is, bro.
Ishio is his first name, so you're fucking beast, man.
Beast, incredible. Man. I feel like he'll stand off with anybody. It don't matter who it is.
Yep.
It's like
I was when I was watching him fight, I'm like, how after watching, because I don't know what exactly what the fucking the lava Admiral can do fully yet. I just knew that he fought against what's his face and won. So the ice guy, and I'm like, oh, if you can fucking run his fade, then I'm like, he's probably super powerful. But I think Ishio can toe to toe bang with both of them. To be honest, with his power,
yeah,
super dangerous.
No devil fruit, this demon.
Yeah.
Pure unadulterated blind demon.
Right. So like I'm looking forward to where I'm going with this Zoe Island for sure. I can't believe that I said it, but it is better than Dressrosa so far. And maybe because they just dragged Dressrosa and this was just kind of moving along faster. But is Zoe right before Wano? Am I catching up?
You get like all Cake Island.
Oh, okay, for Big Mom. Okay.
It goes Zoe, All Cake Island, Wano.
Got it. Okay, because I'm at to put it in perspective for everybody, I'm at 759.
Yeah, you damn near there because once you get to episode 1000, you already been in Wano.
I can't believe I'm 759 episodes into this, but I'm enjoying it. I'm liking it. I'm to be specific, 319 episodes behind. And that's like not counting the filler because obviously I'm gonna skip the filler. So, yeah, I'm coming up. I'm about to be caught up. And when I'm caught up, I want to hear shit because then I can speak. I can speak ill of whatever I want because I watched it all and nobody can say anything.
You speak One Piece-anese.
Yeah,
that means you know exactly what y'all talking about when y'all talking it. Call it trash. It's trash.
Yep, exactly. So, I mean, with that being said, I'm at Polow Born Flounder on social media.
I'm at King Teliano on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on X, at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. And as always, Mike Check.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu.